after the game.
You want idiots to sound like idiots, but you want them to hold their position the whole year. Like, don't flip-flop with us. Like if you said we weren't going to make it, you said we were some way early on, just stick with that position. Hold it. Don't try to give us credit now. Don't try to give us credit now. Just stick. If you had us ranked 25, keep us ranked 25. If you had us going home early, if you had us going 3 and whatever, have us going 3 and whatever. You know what I mean? At least stick by your word, because I want you to sound like an idiot at the end.
Okay, maybe they all will sound like idiots, but let's see what happens. They got to play the Rams a couple times. Right. They got to play the Seahawks a couple times. I don't know. They got to play Kyler a couple. Right. You know, let's just see how it plays out.
Well, but
could be right. They look really good.
Well, the thing is with athletes, and a lot of athletes have felt like Richard, feel like if they don't get the credit they deserve at the beginning.
Yep.
But Skip, as you get new information, the situation should change. Well, we think this team is not going to be very good, but all of a sudden they start playing. It's like, okay, this team is better than I thought. Maybe I need to reevaluate. I mean, there's no harm in that. Richard, the narrative still could have been, Skip, Richard's like, you know what? We played well because we felt we needed to teach a certain gentleman on the other side a lesson, because we don't feel that he's paid the proper respect to this game and to those that played this game that came before him that will come after him. He thinks he's bigger than the game. He thinks he's a superstar, although he's accomplished nothing. And let that be a lesson to that young man. Doesn't even have to call his name. Everybody knows he's going to be talking about Skip. Let that be a cautionary tale. This game will humble you if you refuse to humble yourself. He didn't need to say the guy didn't shake his hand. Now, Skip, the guy didn't shake his hand the second time, but that would have assumed he meant the first time.
Yeah. Correct.
Because a lot of people don't know that there is a second handshake after the coin toss.
Exactly. So here's the greatest irony to Monday night to me. How did Richard Sherman put himself on the map initially in the National Football League? By doing a lot of the same things Baker Mayfield has done, which is be outrageously outspoken to the point of irreverent, having little respect for nobody who is superior to you. So when did we first hear of Richard Sherman? We have to go back to 2012. Seattle at Seattle upset the Patriots. Tom Brady did not have a great game that day. And what did Richard do after the game? He taunted Tom Brady on the field. Do you remember this?
That's was he mad,
you
bro?
Mad, bro? Okay. And that was his coming out party. That was the first I really knew of Richard Sherman.
And the thing for me, Skip, I never liked that. Look, you can have your piece, but don't get in someone's face because the guy's already upset. Now, guy swing on you. Now you're going to be mad talking about, well, what? Come on now, bro. You won the game. You want to get in your locker room, you can say all you want to say that. But don't come in my face with that foolishness.
And then he started to go after Darrelle Revis via Twitter. And at that point, Revis 2012 was the preeminent corner, and most people
and that was the debate.
That he, but again, I thought Revis was at least the second greatest corner ever to Deion, right? Darrelle used to go at it with me good-naturedly about, no, I'm better than Deion. I don't think I'd go that far, but still. One of the tweets I found this morning was back from Darrelle before he even really knew who Richard was, and he said, this dude's steady putting my name in his mouth to get notoriety. Yep, that's exactly what's happening. Then he started going after Roddy White, who would fire back at him, and the more Roddy White fired back, the more it put Richard on the map.
Right.
Then I told you yesterday about the incident I had in 2013 in March with Richard, in which his people wanted him to come on our show on ESPN. It was actually at that point in the afternoon, a 30-minute show, just to talk off-season football, and his people made it clear he's been in some controversies with Brady and Revis and Roddy White. And
he wants to clear that up.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't want to do any controversy. He just wants to talk football. So I was completely blindsided because right out of the box, he's attacking me personally. And to this day, I have no idea what sparked it, except once again, I felt like, well, at least I'm in good company because he's attacking all these stars. So he wants to continue to put himself on the map.
Right.
And we asked him to come back on and do it on First Take in the 2-hour show, and we couldn't get him to come back on. And then we've asked him to be on this show multiple times, and he has not come on. You know him a little bit.
I know him a little bit, yes.
So maybe at some point he will come on and we could have discussions about all this because I would love to talk about all of the above with him. But the point was that he had a lot of Baker in him early, right? They're not exactly the same guy, but the MO, Baker's not trying to talk his way into notoriety. I think it's just the way he's built. He just goes after any and everybody.
I think a lot of that has to do, Skip, there are certain positions that we think comes along with trash talking. You think the wide receivers are divas. We think corners trash talk. There are certain positions that you're like, okay, we accept that. But when you see a quarterback,
I agree.
A quarterback normally is CEO, very buttoned up. No matter what happens outside, he's the guy that's going to be calm. Everything's okay. Oh, how you doing? No matter what's been said. Think about it, Skip. No matter what's been said about Tom Brady, Tom always says, oh, that's a great team. They play hard. The coach has. He's always going to be PC. He's always going to be politically correct. Even though he's seething inside, he understands you can be good at any game if you understand how to play the game. Understand the rules of the game. Right now, Baker doesn't really understand the rules of the game. He just wants to play on his terms. There are certain things, Skip. Tom Brady, look, coach, think about it. I think deep down, Tom doesn't have the greatest infatuation or love for Coach Belichick.
Yes.
But publicly, he says all these glowing things. I would have never been the quarterback. I would have never been the player that I have become had it not been for him. Saying bull jive. He became the coach. He became me. That's what he's saying to himself, Skip. But he's always going to say the right thing publicly. I don't believe any other quarterback would have handled the situation with Hugh Jackson the way Baker handled it. It's just not a good look for him,
I agree.
Especially if you're the quarterback.
Right.
Now, we expect a wide receiver or a DB to do crazy, outlandish things like that, but not the quarterback.
Obviously, I love Baker. Jenny loves Baker. Neither of us liked the shot he took at Daniel Jones. It was just gratuitous. It was just off the cuff.
Unnecessary.
I think he thought it was off the record. They're just having conversation across the dinner table. Boom. He looks up at the monitor and sees on ESPN, the Giants took Daniel Jones. What are they thinking? Right? Okay? Bad look. Bad idea. And the shots he continues to take at Sam Ellinger, who now has to play the
they've got history, though. It goes back to high school days.
They got high school, but it's like...
Sam Ellinger didn't play against Baker, did he? Has Sam Ellinger been in school that long?
No.
Because Baker, hold on, Baker was a red shirt. Okay, Baker's been in the second year in the league.
They have not played against
They could not have.
It's just the rival high schools. There's more
Austin
to it.
high school stuff. Okay?
It's high school football in Texas, Shannon. It's everything.
So now Baker obviously no longer plays for the University of Oklahoma, and they have to deal with Sam Ellinger and all of all the resentment he's built up toward Baker on Saturday, and you will be there.
I will.
You can see, you remember the NFC Championship game, Michael Crabtree and Sherm. Sherm knocks the pass away, it gets intercepted. Aaron Andrews, at Fox, interviews him after the game. He's like, what happened? Well, they tried me with a sorry receiver. You try me with a sorry receiver, that's the result you're going to get. Okay, so you know it's contentious. Aqib Talib and Michael Crabtree, you know it's contentious. Even though Baker Mayfield I don't believe Baker Mayfield and Richard Sherman has never had any interaction. I just think the way Richard Sherman believes that the way Baker has conducted himself, I need to put this young man in this place. And so that's how that started. And Skip, a guy don't have to say, I don't like you, Skip. You make me sick. You know. You could be around. You just know. And Baker sensed it. That's why Baker's feet did not move. He didn't step back. He didn't step forward. He stuck his hand out.
And I was a little surprised we didn't hear a peep out of Baker yesterday via social media.
Because
the reason we didn't is because he got his butt kicked. He threw for 100 yards. That was it.
Number one for
and he had a QBR of a 1 on a scale of 0 to 100.
1. That's one more than me.
That's tough.
I know my cows
That's one more than you.
So he took his lumps and he shut his mouth, and I'm sure he'll speak today, I assume, after practice.
But also knowing that he did shake his hand, he didn't really have a lot to have to defend, and I'm sure he assumed that video would surface.
But this is what Baker's up against. And this should give him, say, you know what? I might need to change the way I say things and how I do things. You got a guy like Nick Bosa that says, I don't talk. He's got guys going out of their character, going out of their way to get at him.
He does.
So that's what you're up against. That's what you're creating.
You know, that's a good point. Nick Bosa's never acted like that before.
No.
He said he's been waiting for 2 years to do that.
Really normally
they're like, Nick, do you normally talk? He's like, no, I don't normally say anything.
Baker.
It's like, come on, show me something. I mean, come on, try hard to do. So you're going to get guys going out of their way to try and get at you because they don't feel you're paying the proper respect.
Okay. What's the answer to this? You just got to back it up. You can talk all you want. Shannon Sharp talked. Shannon Sharp backed it up.
Yeah.
Yep.
I just wish I knew that Shannon in those days. I wish I could have been a sideline reporter for those.
TD coming out. TD might give you a little snippet.
His former teammate Terrell Davis will join us in a little bit here.
Okay. So I'm going to get the scoop. All right. That's always a good thing to have. Here's the biggest question. Skip, Shannon, if you had to win one game, just one.
For your life.
Which current quarterback would you take? That is next. Don't forget, you can check us out every day on